Hello dears, in this video tutorial I will teach you the ID selector. So what is ID selector? The ID selector or simple ID is the unique identifier for an element inside HTML page. So using the ID selector we can style the HTML element. Like you can see in this page, web page, we have header h1, we have three blocks, div1, div2, div3, the paragraph and one button. And all of these are inside the section of our main body. So if we see the background color of the section has a particular color, width and height, and similarly all the blocks have some CSS properties which are applied to all of the blocks. Now see the code of HTML code of this whole page. You can see we have defined a section, and inside it we have heading element and three div elements, and then we have paragraph and button. If we look to the CSS page, which is linked here, link rel style sheet h reference is equal to app.css. So the properties, the CSS properties for a section include the background color, width and height, while the div tags, all the div tags has a background color of this, height of 100 pixel, width of 200 pixels, and displays inline block. Why it is inline block? Because by default div is a block level element. So if we don't display it, if we remove it, so all the div elements will be displayed vertically like the block. So as there is no distance, so that's why here the margin is 0, but we can set the margin. Now the question arises that if we want to color the block div1 different from the block div2 and block div2 different from the block div3, so how we can do that? If we write div, so all of these property will be applied to all of the div blocks. So using ID selector we can easily style each div separately. So how we can do? We will define ID, and ID will is equal to, we will define, for example, ID div1. Okay, this is the unique name, so ID name will be unique. We write div2, and here we write ID is equal to div3, let us suppose. So how we can style each div now? So it's easy. We will write the first div name, that is div1, but we forgot something. So if we write this, nothing happens by default, all of the property, because if we see this, there is no div property applied. So this is wrong. We forgot the hash sign. So if we define ID selector, so we must insert a hash sign before the ID name. So you can see the properties, the background color for the first div is selected. We have this HTML color code. So for example, if we select different color, like we copy it and we paste it. So only the background color of the div 1 is changed. Similarly, the height, width, display, all properties are applied only to div 1. We will now copy it and will paste it, and instead of div 1 we will write the div 2, and we will change the background color so that it look the div 2 look different from the div 1. Suppose we select this color. So you can see the div tag 2 has a different color from this. And similarly, when we copy it and we paste it and we change the name div 2 to div 3 and set some background color from this color HTML color codes. So suppose we select some more color, like we set for example this color. Now we will refresh, so you can see all of the three tags has a different colors. So we set some different color from the for the section, like for section we set some dominant color, like uh, we set this one. Now it's look more dominant. So you can see the three blocks are here, and the three blocks has a different properties. So by using ID selector, we apply different properties to each block. Okay. Now, if we want to change, if we want to apply the CSS property to this block, which is a paragraph, so what we will do, we will define, like for example, this is a paragraph. So we will define ID, and we set for example ID as a para 1, for example. So how we can do that? We will write hash para 1, and we will set background color of, like we set for example green. Pause. No, we set only the color. So this one looks not in matching with this background, so rather we will change the background for we see which one? So it will be better if we set some light color for the section. So we will. Now it's look more better. So the paragraph is now green, but still it is not dominant. So instead, if we make it red, so it will be more dominant. Now you can see using ID selector D for the paragraph, change the properties. So inside this paragraph, if I want to make this paragraph as a different color, so that inside this paragraph this paragraph word look more dominant. So what we will do, or want to make it bold, for example, so we cannot make it bold. If we bold, so we will apply the bold to the whole paragraph, which is the block level. So if we want to make the inline changes, so we will put it in span. So span, as earlier stated, is a inline element. Okay, and we will set the ID for this as a for example ID, for example we set A. Okay, so we will write hash A, and we will write the color for this. So we select some good color. So we said, for example, this one. No, this one will be not better because the background section color is also like this. Suppose we select this code. So I am a paragraph for this section. So this whole paragraph is a block level. So ID is applied to this, color is set as a red, and then inside this paragraph, inline span is considered, and then ID is taken for this paragraph, and then paragraph is colored as a blue. Okay, so if we want to make further changes, you can easily do that. So you see span tag is taken inside this P. Remember that you can also take span inside another span. For example, if we want to make this as a span, and inside span you write still it's okay. So this means now this whole paragraph is taken as an inline element inside another tag, span tag. So, okay, if we make it is so this is a para 1, and we set the para 1 properties as a red. Okay, so instead of para 1, if we make its ID is equal to B, for example, and we delete this ID, so paragraph still, but now the name change from it to B. So still the same. Okay, so this one is red, and inside one span we have defined another span and its color is changed. Okay, so if you want to make this heading inside this as a bold, so what you will do, you will write the bold tag here, bold B and B. Now this is more dominant. Now we can change this button property also using the same ID selector. So this is button, uh, button 1, for example, we make it button 1, and we take another button, button 2, and we make another button, button 3. Okay, so we left with the two buttons. Now you can see what happens. Two buttons are taken. Why these two buttons are in one line rather than in two lines? Because button is a inline element, so it will be shown in the one line. So we can make it as a block, as discussed in our previous lecture already. So how we can change the property? If we write like the div, if we write button, if we write button and background color as a, for example, we set some color for this, and we set background color to be this one. I select this color. Okay. Now the color of both buttons are changed. But if I want to make this one different from this one, so how I can do that? It's very simple. Like uh, the div tag, like the div tag we took ID. So I'll write B button one element, and for this I take ID is equal to button 2. Okay, so I'll write here button 1, but I'll write here hash sign. I'll put the hash sign. Similarly, I'll write button 2 with some different background. Suppose I set the background color to be, I have to see, okay, I want to select this color for this button. Happens. Okay, I think I have done some mistake. Okay, this is but one, and this is button two. So but one and but two, but one, and this is but two. So I read right. Button two, ID but one. ID by 2. Oh, it's not change. Suppose I take pen ID. So suppose I take C and D horizontal. C, and for this I take ID as a D. Okay, button ID is equal to C and D, and I take here C, and here I take D. Okay, so let's see. Okay, now it's change. Now this button is red and this one is with different color. So this was all about the class identifier, sorry, the ID selector, and hope you enjoyed today's lecture. Thank you so much for watching the video. Thank you so much.